What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you need that physical QWERTY keyboard because you're a texter, you're an emailer, you're whatever, you've got a couple of different options. If you're on T-Mobile and you want Android as well, you have the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G launched this week for $99.99, and it's available in a couple of different colors, at least on the side hinge over here. Then you have the T-Mobile G2, another cool device on T-Mobile. And if you remember back to our reviews last year on this, keyboard's absolutely fantastic. Now the Sidekick 4G, the newcomer, but still by far one of the best keyboards on the market. So which one should you get? You know, if you're a T-Mobile customer, you're thinking of migrating to T-Mobile, is the Sidekick all grown up? Is this new form factor the way to go? Or should you stick with the G2? We're going to try to find out that and more in the Dogfight. T-Mobile Sidekick 4G, HTC, or T-Mobile, depending on what you want to call it, G2, starts right now. So that's one of the benefits of the G2 as opposed to the Sidekick. Let's take a look at the browser on both of these devices, and we'll jump over here into, it's listed as web on this device, and we'll go to PhoneDog, bring up here, actually, woohoo, it's already loaded, and then we'll pop this one up so we can get a fair look of what a landscape looks like on both. We'll go to PhoneDog.com, the best phone news and phone reviews, isn't that the truth? And then we'll go there, shift up these lights a little bit so it doesn't glare too much. And then so there's PhoneDog over on the G2, and it's loading up on the Sidekick as well right now. Both of these 4G devices. So it'll be fun to do a speed test and see which one comes out on top. So here we go. This one's loading up pretty quickly. This one, an advertisement stopped it. Let's see. Let's get that out. Okay, let's see here. Get the advertisement away. And then here's the site. So we'll go up and go down, zoom in, zoom out. Relatively responsive. There we go, okay. And you know, something like that as opposed to iOS or as opposed to Windows Phone 7, you know, you're going to notice a little bit of a lag, but still that's pretty reasonably responsive to me. Now because it is a stock build of Android, you see the regular menu options here. New windows, bookmarks, what windows are open, etc. You can see pretty plain Jane look there as opposed to Samsung, which we'll show you in just a second. Now I can go up and down. Pinch to zoom was pretty responsive on this device when I tested it in the review. Let's see. Yep, still very responsive. More responsive than the G2 in my opinion. You can see pinch to zoom very quick with little to no lag at all. Now when I click menu, windows open up in a little bit of a different form here. And I think it's more aesthetically pleasing, and for people that are new to smartphones, I think this could be a better experience for them. So you can see, but overall, pinch to zoom, very, very good on both of these devices. But you know, for me, I'd have to give it to the Sidekick 4G. Can't talk today. Give it to the Sidekick 4G because of faster pinch to zoom and a more aesthetically pleasing menu system. One of the cool features I like on this that T-Mobile has pre-installed is T-Mobile TV. So, you know, it's out of the box, you get it. The basic channels, I believe, are free, and then for premium channels, it's $9.99 per month. But it's a cool little feature. It works well on HSPA+, and we'll jump in here, hit accept, and we'll wait for it to load up so we can watch the TV. But in my testing, speaker's been nice and loud, and I've been very, very pleased with the approach. And you know, I'm sorry, there's more to cover on this one just for the fact that there are applications installed on this as opposed to kind of a stock Android build. So if you're wondering, you know, you think I'm kind of giving it to the Sidekick 4G here, giving more camera time, it's just because there's more to cover. Let's start the trial for 30 days. And we'll wait for that to load up there. And while we're doing that, let me talk about the cloud texting, which I can't show off here because it's not off on my computer, but it is a cool feature. Instead of typing out messages all day long on this, you can do it from a web-based interface on your computer, and then that way it'll send, like it's kind of like a Google Voice, but specific to Sidekicks, which is a nice feature in my opinion, and huge to have, you know, particularly if you send hundreds of text messages per day, alleviates your hands from using this tiny keyboard. So let's wait for this to load. So you can see media volume all the way up. I think it's pretty good. I like it. You know, HSPA, no buffering, no slow load times overall. It's been very, very good throughout my testing. So T-Mobile TV is a cool feature. Another cool feature, group texting. If you bring up group texting, and let me see here if I have one that I can bring up. Hang on one second. I don't want to show off anybody's numbers from when they were texting me earlier. Okay, so here you go. I can bring in new group members. I have Old Man, the Phone Dog, and somebody else in this group, so I can come in here and enter a message, hello, send those to the 3 people in my test group. And so it's just a nice interface for people that group text message on a regular basis, for a lot of people that have Sidekicks, more organized text messaging flow. So those are the 2 big perks of the Sidekick, the group texting and the cloud texting. So it's a device that's very much centered around messaging, around social media interaction. You can see up here when I keep pulling it away just in case somebody's number pops up. But you can see tap to update your status to Facebook, Twitter, or MySpace. I have Twitter logged in. I can say, hey, I'm on video. And I can hit bam, bam, and send it. So I can use Facebook, I can use MySpace and Twitter. I can update simultaneously, and the status update has been posted. So I can do that directly from the notifications bar. So it's a device that's centered around messaging and social media. That's the perk of this one. Let's take a look at speed test, quadrant standard, things like that. We'll load up quadrant standard first, just to get an idea. We'll run the full benchmark. Now, I've been pleased with both of these. Obviously, they're both T-Mobile devices, so call quality has been very similar. No issues whatsoever in the Charlotte area. There are a couple of dead spots that I took the G2. It's been a while with the G2. I took this to a couple of days ago, and call quality was okay. Now, it was choppy. We went through the period where it was choppy. I thought I was going to lose a call. I didn't on this one, and I don't believe I did on that one either. Now, this one has a 1300 milliamp battery. This one has a 1500 milliamp battery. In my testing, the battery life is obviously longer on this one because of a combination of 2 things, smaller display and bigger battery. So if you're looking for battery, you want that battery that's going to last you a little bit longer, go with the Sidekick 4G. I was able to make it about a day and a half. Even when I was doing all that text messaging from when I gave the number out on YouTube, made it about a day and a half. That's pretty impressive in my opinion. So we'll wait, or we'll jump in here and see. And we'll start with the Sidekick 939. 939 on that one. Much, much faster on the G2, 1,371. So 1,371 as opposed to 939. Speed test, and actually Speed Test just updated their app, so it'll be cool. It's the iPhone type app now, so it'll be kind of fun to do. Let's begin, bring closest server in, change the server. We'll do, whatever reason the Charlotte one stopped showing up, so we'll do Greensboro on both of these little town kind of northeast of here, and then begin test there, and we'll see which one takes the cake. But like I said, both are HSPA Plus devices. Both are utilizing that 4G connectivity. Looks like the G2 is doing pretty well. And we're going to transfer that over into change server, yada, yada, yada. Let's get that over if we can. Okay, change server. Nope, get rid of that. Change it over to megabits per second. And we'll see here 4.01 megabits per second as opposed to 3.56 megabits per second. So in that test, which is, one test, take more tests if you don't believe me, but in one test, the G2 outweighs the Sidekick 4G. Now, obviously, a dogfight has to be, or you have to have a winner in a dogfight. I'm going to give it to the G2. Reason being, 1, bigger display, 2, better build quality, in my opinion. Awesome keyboard. Not to say I think the Sidekick 4G's keyboard is better, but good keyboard and better camera, which while we're on the camera, I'll do a quick test for you to show you the testing between the 2 cameras. 5 megapixel camera with flash and with a dedicated button with autofocus. We'll get down here on the Sidekick logo, for example, and you can see in comparison to something like a 3 megapixel camera. If you're in a well-lit situation, Sidekick's 3 megapixel camera will be a decent option for you. But you can see there, wait for that to load up, pretty good image quality thanks to the 5 megapixel camera. Now the downside is this does not have a front-facing camera, so if you plan on using that, for video calling, anything like that, then the Sidekick is obviously going to be the device for you. So we'll zoom in here. Keep in mind that there's a lot of light shining down on this right now, but not a bad image by any means, but still the G2 takes the cake in terms of overall image quality, both in well-lit situations and in low-lit situations. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com with the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G, the T-Mobile G2, and dogfights with both of these. We love to do our dogfights between devices to see which one's the best on the market. One of these days we're going to do all these dogfights and we're going to find the one device. Well, we probably never will find one device because they're all coming out way too fast. But keep it locked on the site for more coverage. Be sure to like us on Facebook as well, facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away a bunch of iPads, a bunch of phones as part of our colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes. And be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.